We're the bad guys?
Pocahontas is raping you.
Dude, fuck that.
Bingo.
What backwards, politically correct, drivel fucking nonsense is this?
Welcome to my hell.
First of all, plenty of homegrown U.S. citizens are already orchestrating these sorts of attacks
Oh,
here.
deflection.
Mass shootings are a regular occurrence in America.
Muddy the
and
water.
At this point, when they happen, we barely bat an eye.
Muddy the water.
Oh, for fuck's sake, man. Are you seriously suggesting... Seriously, we should take the chance of importing more problems within our own borders because we already have a lot of problems.
Two wrongs make a who cares.
Look at that. I think they call this power logic. Give that a round of applause.
Yep.
This is the shit that apparently will get you 750,000 subs on YouTube.
Inexplicable.
Fuck me running.
But if ISIS does it, all of a sudden, it's way worse and way scarier?
I wonder why.
Why?
Over 27,000 Islamic terror attacks since 9/11.
Oh, kaboom.
And you remember that one? You remember when those dudes, they hijacked those planes, they flew them into the skyscrapers, killed about 3,000 American citizens?
I do, Drew.
You remember that and the other, quote-unquote, refugees who bombed the marathon in Boston?
Kaboom.
Remember that dude in Chattanooga a few months ago who killed those 4 military members in Tennessee? And the Fort Hood shooter?
Yes. All of it.
Yeah, if that can be avoided, how about we go ahead and try to avoid that? Now, what is the difference when ISIS does it? Less than 1% of the American population is Muslim at the moment.
Yeah.
And look at what goes on here. These are the attacks on American soil by the less than 1% Muslim population.
Outrageous.
And you're advocating bringing in another 65,000 people.
There's Fort Hood.
From the homeland, the birthplace of ISIS, where these horrible fucking ideas have been breeding.
Rat's nest.
Who knows? Who honestly cares? Let the refugees in.
No.
Sure, do everything we can to make sure they're legit. It's a reasonable precaution. I mean, chances are none of them are with ISIS.
According to who?
But even if some are, what are they going to do? They blow up a movie theater and kill 50 people?
Yeah.
Sad, sure, but that's still 65,000 people who are not part of ISIS that we helped out.
Oh, listen to that fucking logic. Dear God, how abhorrent is that?
What the fuck is he talking about?
Let these people in. Who cares if 5,000 of them are going to plot to destroy and oppress innocent civilians, and not in an organized manner, not lining up in the streets facing off with the military. No, it's more like I'm watching a movie when half the mall I'm in blows up.
Your life's over.
And oh hey, about 50 innocent Americans just fucking died in this easily avoidable situation. But hey, think about it. Not all the refugees are bad, right?
TJ ain't no coward.
That's not even to mention recruiting. You don't think these numbers would grow? I mean, everything about this is ridiculous. This guy is saying, who cares if a bunch of innocent Americans are killed in their own fucking towns by people who shouldn't have been there in the first place?
C'est la vie.
Yeah, man, and be sure to tell the parents and the families of those people that political correctness means more to America than the lives of their own citizens.
Shameful.
Fuck off.
Yeah, baby.
No one ever said compassion isn't without its drawbacks. I believe it's actually been said before that no good deed goes unpunished.
Drawbacks?
I don't see that as a reason to stop doing good deeds.
Murder?
Just a reason to toughen up and take the drawbacks if and when they come.
Toughen up, you weigh 400 pounds.
This guy, he scripted all this out. This guy sat down, put pen to paper, or typed this up on Notepad or whatever.
Unimaginable.
Still failed miserably, not just at logic,
Pure
but
fail.
at morality.
Yep.
This guy thinks it's more moral. The more moral option in this is to let in these, and again, I'm going to air quote. You can't see it, but I'm air quoting.
I see you.
Refugees.
Ooh la la
Who
la.
even in his scenario, a few thousand of which are radical extremists who want to murder as many infidels as possible, and he thinks saying, well, hey, you can kill a lot of us, but it's not like they can murder us all, right?
Not all.
He finds that to be the moral standpoint in this situation. It's unfucking real.
Baffling.
And that brings me to the biggest issue of all. Should we be scared of terrorists?
Yes.
Oh my God, let's hear this.
My answer, personally, is no. Terrorists are called terrorists because their entire strategy is causing terror, because they know that terror leads to irrationality and unrest.
Are you afraid of dying?
And social destabilization.
Fuck
they
you.
know that fear is the mind killer.
Oh, what
Dude,
deepity.
it isn't like what we deem as a terrorist organization identifies itself as terrorist, TJ. I doubt ISIS sits around wiring bombs to belts, talking about how great it is to be a terrorist. Like, you know the best thing about blowing yourself up for Allah? It scares people. I mean, that's a label we put on them.
Don't let them win,
never
Drew.
mind that. That is a complete side note. Fuck that. What is this about we shouldn't be afraid of terrorists?
Yeah, that was lame.
Fear of danger is rational. Fear of a potential threat is what has kept our species alive for all these generations.
Mm-hmm.
Now, if you're smart, you fear people who may want to ambush you with guns and bombs. People who want to ambush you with death.
Makes sense.
Yeah, that's rational.
When you're afraid of terrorists, you're actually corroborating with them.
Oh, what the fuck?
Those who rule by fear can only be defeated by those who refuse to be afraid.
Okay, so we should let 65,000 people from the ISIS homeland into our country, no questions asked, to show the terrorists that we're not afraid of them. I would say I'm glad people like you don't make the big decisions, but sadly you do. And ironically, it's your supposed lack of fear that is likely to get a lot of innocent people killed. Because again, fear is rational.
And that's not to say that we simply ignore ISIS, or that that's the solution.
Thanks.
Whether or not we should wipe this group off the face of the map is very much up for debate, and I would consider myself undecided at this point.
Get back to your video
Alright,
game.
seriously. Who in the fuck is this guy's audience?
Exactly.
Who in the fuck are you people?
Preach.
This goddamn ass clown, this insipid piece of shit,
Faggot.
is undecided on whether or not ISIS should be destroyed.
Not that there's anything wrong with that.
What the hell do I even say to that?
Nothing.
How do I respond to that? Man, I've made videos involving Ken Ham and Ray Comfort. It took a YouTube atheist to produce that level of stupid that just silences my mind.
Mm-hmm. He's a moron.
The left side of my body just went limp for a couple of seconds. I think I had a mini stroke from the amount of stupidity and lazy thinking that this man just unleashed on me.
I feel you.
I'll tell you what, for the amazing atheist, since he is undecided, I'll lay it out. Fuck ISIS.
Fuck them.
Fuck them and the unscorched ground beneath their feet.
Fuck them again.
I want them absolutely annihilated. French bombs should be disintegrating ISIS members and their supporters. France should do to al-Baghdadi what America did to Jihadi John's bitch ass.
That's right. Ring
Fuck
fire.
them.
Fuck them.
They cannot die fast enough. I am decided. I am on the side that is pro-freedom.
Woo.
I refuse to be a fence sitter in a conflict where Western values are up against totalitarianism and theocracy.
He's on the Skeptic's Fence Show.
And if you are a fence sitter in that, fuck you.
Yeah, fuck you, Tyler.
My God, undecided about whether ISIS should be destroyed or not. But totally decided that we should take these people from Syria the fuck out of here.
But I will not be afraid.
Oh, yes, whatever.
I'm more likely to die of cancer or heart disease or a car crash or even the flu than I am to die from a terrorist attack.
So what?
So fuck the rest of you who actually plan on living a peaceful, long, and meaningful life. Because this guy's about to eat himself to death or get cancer, so he doesn't give a shit.
Exactly.
It's just apathy. It's a lazy attempt to avoid thinking about a serious problem.
Yep.
He is showcasing this sloth-like mentality. Like, his mental capacity for this issue is that of a sloth.
A tick.
Just kind of floating down the river, swinging on a tree limb from time to time.
Pathetic.
That's his brain working on this issue.
I'm more likely to be killed by domestic criminals than I am foreign invaders or religious radicals.
Who? Genius.
Yeah, you may be right now in this country, but shit can change really goddamn quick. And importing over 60,000 Syrian Muslims into this country can change that.
Try 1.5 million in Germany.
We're Americans, and it nauseates me. It's really sad. We do live in this little bubble where it's just kind of, there's us.
TJ's a bubble.
And then there's kind of this other shit. But do you see what the fuck is happening in Europe? Listen to people in Europe tell you why it's such a bad idea.
I'm in Europe.
Ask the British how much the country has changed over the last 10 years. Ask the Swedes and the Norwegians.
They're getting
Look
raped.
at Germany now, and remember it like it is. Take a picture, because in a decade, it is going to be radically
That's
different.
why we will be getting the fuck out.
I will not be afraid of everyone who is Muslim Because some Muslims are violent.
Not all?
As the conservatives want me to do.
I'm liberal,
Oh,
so is
dear
Drew.
God, and now we're at the not all Muslims. Not all.
Not all, not all.
I'm done. Fucking nausea from start to finish. I have a headache now.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's still like some of that stroke is still hanging around. It's lofting. If I go any further, it might go like full both sides of my body, permanent.
Drink water.
Oh, God.
Take a nap.
Pure goddamn insanity coming from the mouth of YouTube's biggest atheists. And I hope everybody sees this.
Mm-hmm.
I hope this makes sense. Because I keep hearing all this shit about infighting and that atheists are a really small community or whatever, and we need to stick with each other. But look, you get me and this guy, get me and the amazing atheist in a room together, and talk about how there is no fucking God, and we're going to agree.
Yippity-doo.
But that's one topic that unites us.
Pointless.
There is an entire world of bad ideas and backward thinking out there. And just because we're aware enough to know that there are no invisible people in the clouds does not mean that some of us are not susceptible to bad thinking.
Exactly.
The amazing atheist is not just a little wrong on this. He is dead in the fucking water wrong.
I love Drew.
This was beyond pathetic.